take a moment and notice something. Your brain is tired. Not from the work you actually did today, but from the problems you imagined solving tomorrow. Your mind has been running simulations. What if this happens? What if that goes wrong? What if everything falls apart? You replay conversations that haven't happened yet. You prepare responses for conflicts that may never occur. You imagine disasters in vivid detail, as if rehearsing for a play that might never be performed. And the strange thing is, your body reacts as if these imagined futures are real. Your heart rate increases, your muscles tighten, your breathing becomes shallow. Your brain cannot always distinguish between a real threat and a mentally simulated one. So while nothing is actually happening right now, your nervous system behaves as if something terrible already has. And that is exhausting. Your brain is spending enormous energy solving problems that do not yet exist. And the result? Mental fatigue, anxiety, decision paralysis, a sense that life is always slightly out of control. But in the next 10 minutes, we are going to interrupt that pattern. Not with vague positivity, not with empty reassurance, but with something far more powerful. A reset of your mental operating system. For the next few minutes, you will stop trying to predict the future and start reclaiming the only moment where life actually happens, right now. Let's begin with a simple observation. Human beings are terrible fortune tellers, yet we act as if we are required to be one. Your brain constantly tries to predict what will happen next. It scans for danger. It searches for possible threats. It imagines scenarios so you can be prepared. This ability once helped humans survive. Thousands of years ago, anticipating danger meant staying alive. But the modern world changed the rules. The threats our ancestors faced were immediate. A predator, a storm, a rival tribe. Today, the threats are mostly abstract and hypothetical. Career uncertainty, financial worries, social expectations, global news cycles. Instead of reacting to real dangers, your brain is reacting to possible futures. And the more information we consume, the more scenarios our brain tries to calculate. Every headline, every notification, every prediction about the economy, the world, or your life. Each one feeds the illusion that you must constantly anticipate what comes next. So your mind becomes a forecasting machine, running simulations, running possibilities, running endless mental calculations. But here is the truth. You cannot live in the future. You can only imagine it. And imagination, when left unchecked, often turns into anxiety. The mind begins confusing possibility with probability. And suddenly, every hypothetical scenario starts to feel inevitable. This is the moment where the anxiety loop begins. Your brain is biologically wired to simulate threats. This is not a flaw, it is an ancient survival mechanism. Inside your brain, a network called the default mode network activates when you are not focused on the present moment. Its job is to imagine, to plan, to remember, to predict. But here is the problem. This system does not know when to stop. If you allow it to run without interruption, it will generate an endless stream of future scenarios. Some helpful, many unnecessary. Some realistic, many catastrophic. The brain always assumes that if it can imagine something, it might happen. And once that thought appears, your emotional system reacts. Your body releases stress hormones. Your muscles tighten, your attention narrows. Now your brain interprets those physical signals as confirmation. See, something must be wrong. And the loop continues. Thought to stress, to more thoughts, to more stress. This is what we call the anxiety loop. A self-reinforcing cycle where imagined futures trigger real physiological responses. And the modern world has amplified this loop dramatically. We now live inside a constant stream of predictions, economic forecasts, political forecasts, climate forecasts, career forecasts. Even algorithms try to predict what you will watch next, buy next, or think next. The message is subtle but constant. Stay alert, anticipate everything. But the human nervous system was never designed to carry the weight of the entire future. And when we try, our minds become overloaded. Constant future forecasting has consequences, real biological consequences. When the brain believes a threat is present, it activates the stress response system. Cortisol levels rise, adrenaline increases. Your body prepares for action. But here is the issue. Your body cannot remain in that state indefinitely. Stress hormones are meant to spike briefly, then return to baseline. But if your mind keeps generating threats, your body never receives the signal that the danger has passed. The result is chronic stress. And chronic stress drains your mental energy. It clouds your judgment. It narrows your thinking. It makes simple decisions feel overwhelming. Ironically, the more you try to predict the future, the worse your brain becomes at solving present problems. Your cognitive resources are being consumed by scenarios that do not yet exist. Your attention is pulled away from what is actually happening. This phenomenon is known as mental time travel. Your mind is physically here, but your attention is living somewhere else. Tomorrow, next week, next year, even 5 years from now. But the brain cannot function effectively in a place that does not exist yet. The future is a concept. The present is reality. And when you abandon the present moment, you also abandon your ability to act effectively. That is the paradox. Predicting the future does not give you control. It creates the illusion of control, because thinking about something feels like preparing for it. But thinking is not the same as acting. And action can only occur in one place, the present moment. So how do we interrupt this cycle? We narrow our focus, not to the entire future, not to the entire world, but to something much smaller, something manageable, something real. We call this principle the 3-foot radius. Imagine a circle around you with a radius of about 3 feet. Everything within that circle is physically reachable. Everything within that circle is real. Your breathing, your posture, the chair you're sitting on, the sound of the room, the temperature of the air. When your attention moves into this small radius, the brain receives new information. Information that contradicts the catastrophic predictions. Right now, in this exact moment, nothing is attacking you. Nothing is collapsing. Nothing is demanding immediate survival. Your nervous system begins to calm, because the brain finally receives accurate sensory input. You are safe. You are breathing. You are here. And once the brain recognizes this, the stress response begins to deactivate. This is the power of radical presence. It is not denial of the future. It is simply recognizing that the future does not exist yet, and therefore cannot be managed right now. Let's practice something simple. Take a slow breath. Not a forced breath, just a natural inhale. Now exhale slowly. Notice the sensation of air moving through your nose. Feel your feet touching the floor. Notice the weight of your body supported by the chair. Listen for the quietest sound in the room. Maybe a distant hum. Maybe the subtle movement of air. These sensory details anchor your brain. They bring your attention back into the 3-foot radius, where reality is stable, where your body can relax, where your mind can finally stop running simulations. You are not in next year. You are not in tomorrow. You are here. And here, there is space. Now we address the deeper fear. The reason your brain keeps predicting the future. It believes certainty equals safety. If you can predict every possible outcome, then nothing can surprise you. But this belief creates an impossible task, because certainty does not exist. The future will always contain unknown variables. No amount of thinking can eliminate uncertainty. So instead of chasing certainty, we build something stronger: capability. Capability means trusting your ability to respond when challenges arise. It means knowing that you have handled unexpected situations before, and you will handle them again. There is an important difference between two mental habits: preparation and rumination. Preparation is action, making a plan, saving money, learning skills, taking steps that strengthen your ability to respond. Rumination is repetition, running the same thought loop again and again without producing a solution. Preparation builds confidence. Rumination builds anxiety. The key is recognizing the difference. If your thinking produces an action, it is useful. If it produces only more thinking, it is a loop, and loops can be broken. There is a simple mental shift that helps dissolve catastrophic thinking. Instead of asking, "What if?" ask, "Even if." What if something goes wrong becomes, "Even if something goes wrong, I will adapt." What if the plan fails becomes, "Even if the plan fails, I will learn and adjust." What if things change unexpectedly becomes, "Even if things change, I will figure out the next step." This shift moves the brain out of prediction mode and into resilience mode. Instead of trying to eliminate uncertainty, you develop confidence in your ability to navigate it. And that is true control. Not controlling the future, but trusting yourself inside it. Here is a simple daily ritual you can practice. 10 minutes. No technology. No news. No predictions. Step away from screens. Sit quietly. Focus on your breathing. Notice your environment. Let your thoughts slow down. If future worries appear, acknowledge them. Then gently return your attention to the present moment. This practice creates mental space, space where your brain can recover from information overload. Because the modern world constantly feeds your mind forecasts, predictions, breaking news, speculation, your brain absorbs all of it. But your nervous system was never meant to process that much uncertainty. So we create boundaries. This is called information fasting. You limit the amount of predictive noise entering your mind. Not because information is bad, but because your peace matters more than endless speculation. You do not need to know everything that might happen. You only need to know what you can do right now. And right now, your future self does not need you to predict every problem. Your future self only needs you to stay calm, stay capable, stay present. Because when challenges actually arrive, you will handle them, just as you always have. But for now, there is nothing to solve, nothing to predict, nothing to control. Just this moment, this breath, this quiet space where your mind can finally rest. Before you leave this moment, pause for just one more breath. Notice something. The future that was racing through your mind 10 minutes ago is still not here. And yet, you are calmer, clearer, more grounded than you were before. That is the quiet power of presence. Nothing outside of you changed. The world did not suddenly become predictable. Life did not promise you certainty, but something inside you shifted. You remembered that peace does not come from controlling tomorrow. It comes from returning to today. Your mind does not need to solve the entire future tonight. It only needs to rest. And the strange truth is, when your mind becomes quiet, clarity returns naturally. Solutions appear more easily. Decisions feel lighter. And the problems that once felt overwhelming become manageable again. So as you continue your day, or as you drift into sleep tonight, carry this one reminder with you. You do not need to predict the future to survive it. You only need to trust the person you will become when it arrives. and that person is stronger than your anxiety believes. If this reset helped you slow your mind tonight, take a moment to subscribe to 10 Minutes to Reset, because every day your mind is being pulled in 100 different directions. More noise, more pressure, more predictions about what might happen next. And sometimes all you need is 10 minutes to breathe, to think clearly again, and to remember who you are beneath the noise. This channel exists for that moment, a place to reset your mind, refocus your thoughts, and return to calm when the world feels overwhelming. So subscribe and come back whenever your mind needs a reset. And until the next time we meet here, take one more slow breath and step back into your life with a quieter mind.